things have been getting pretty exciting in the land of AMC, with AMC rallying over 30% on Thursday and combined on Friday. And it looks like this might only just be the start. The next option expiration, the next large one for the month of November, is next week, and there is a lot of option activity on the call side and the put side that could help fuel a gamma squeeze. But at the same time, we also are getting very encouraging numbers from Black Panther, Wakanda, and this is something that AMC really needs, right? AMC can only do so much when there's no movies in theaters that people want to see. It's pretty self-explanatory, and that's what Adam Aaron was stressing on his earnings call, and that's why they didn't lower guidance. They didn't necessarily raise guidance on their earnings call, but I think this is really what AMC needs for investors and for hedge funds that have short positions to say, hey, we're going to get out of these positions. Like I've talked about many times, you got to look out 3, 6, 9, 12 months to say, hey, is AMC going to get worse fundamentally from here? I think it's pretty clear. A lot of people have already been broken by the price action that we have seen in AMC stock. A lot of people, even creators that have been talking about this for years, are not here anymore. And quite simply, the hedge funds have gotten what they wanted out of this stock. The real question is there the community behind this thing? Is there going to be investors and traders that trade this stock? And the flat out answer to that is absolutely. There's 100% no doubt in my mind that the FOMO will kick in again, cause the gamma squeeze that will cause these shorts to cover, because the data is still here. Shorts have not covered yet, and even over these past 2 days, I don't think they have been covering at all. So we're going to talk about the Ortex data, get into the numbers, look at this analyst commentary on AMC, and this article says AMC Entertainment's prospects bright despite slow film releases, says Analyst, and this article came out on Friday at 1:37 p.m. So it is a very up-to-date article. We're also going to look at economic data that will be coming out next week that could also move the markets in a big way, guys. So if any of that sounds exciting to you, if any of you guys want to make some money, well, first things first, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the description as well as that. But that is not important, neither here or there in regards to this video. Let's get straight into it. So first things first, guys, we're going to talk about the numbers that are coming out with Black Panther. And obviously today is Saturday, so we only have numbers for Thursday and Friday. And all of the numbers for Friday obviously are not in yet, but just the headline or the punchline from this article says Black Panther, Wakanda Forever box office numbers are coming in, and it is 143% ahead of Black Adam and 26% ahead of the Batman's opening weekends. Black Adam has enjoyed 3 consecutive weeks as the #1 movie in the world, but with releases of Marvel's Black Panther Wakanda Forever, the DC superheroes' reign will finally come to an end come Sunday, as the new Marvel movie is pulling in huge box office gains. According to Deadline, the latest entry in the ever-growing MCU is already pulling in massive numbers at the box office, with the film's first 2 days total offshore proceeds estimated to be 143% ahead of Black Adam and 26% above the Batman. The Ryan Coogler's directed sequel earned an impressive $30.8 million in 43 international markets on Thursday, and combined with domestic previews, the movie sits at a global total of $58.8 million. So excuse me, it looks like this is just the numbers for Thursday alone at $58.8 million for the international box office. Obviously, Marvel is biggest in America, so I think that goes without saying we're going to see the biggest numbers coming domestically. But either way, it says the hotly anticipated follow-up to 2018's Black Panther opened in approximately 4,400 theaters across the United States on Friday. And according to various reports, the sequel is projected to earn between $175 million to $200 million at the box office in its in its debut weekend. Currently, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness holds the record for 2022's biggest opening weekend with 187 million, followed by Top Gun Maverick with 126.5 million. Wakanda Forever could very well trump the Doctor Strange's sequel numbers to take the crown for the year's biggest opening weekend. But with Avatar: The Way of the Water arriving in theaters next month, it might be a short-lived victory in the James Cameron-helmed sequel performs as well as it is projected to. And it does say Black Panther arrived in theaters a few years back. It earned a remarkable 202 million in its first debut weekend. And that's so key because this film did 1.3 billion at the box office, the original Black Panther. So if you even beat the opening numbers of the original, the sequel might just do that much better. And that's exactly what AMC has needed as of right now. Now, this article does go on to say that AMC does own the largest collection of premium theaters that film in IMAX and Dolby Digital. So that could also help bring people to choose AMC theaters to go watch the Black Panther movie. So I think that's all a positive thing. And I think these numbers alone could make people a little bit more bullish and optimistic on AMC and really help to crush any short thesis that remains that much further. Now, this article, like I read earlier, says AMC Entertainment's prospects bright despite slow film releases, says Analyst. And it says that Barrington Research analyst James C. Goss has reiterated the market perform rating on the shares of AMC Entertainment. AMC reported strong Q3 earnings above street estimates. The softer film slate in the second half of Q3 offset a strong start, which featured carryover products from Q2, such as Top Gun Maverick, as well as the July release of Minions: The Rise of Gru and Thor: Love and Thunder. There is a robust slate of blockbusters, though the overall pace of releases appears to still be building back to more normalized levels, said the analyst. Goss said AMC is the largest operator of IMAX and Dolby Cinema screens. The company also has its own PLF format, AMC Prime, with a blockbuster-heavy slate. PLF formats have done well in attracting customers for a premium experience at a premium price. He cited AMC has made efforts to grow the theatrical business and extend beyond traditional operations, including home delivery of concessions and retail sales of AMC branded microwave popcorn. A branded credit card is targeted for the Q1 launch. AMC is also seeking to leverage its circuit footprint with its recent Zoom Video Communications Zoom partnership to expand its meetings businesses with a function it feels would be of value to decentralized workforces. So I think a lot of this, makes a lot of sense. And just to hear someone else say something bullish about AMC as could fare very well. And this also does in line at 1:37 p.m. on Friday, with about the time AMC really started to get some big price movements to the upside. If we go ahead and take a look, this was about the 1:30 time frame. You started to absolutely rip after this had came out. So I think it is no coincidence that did happen. Now, nonetheless, let's take a look at the Ortex data, and something very interesting we reported on Friday is that essentially the live short interest and the cost to borrow numbers are not coming through. The last cost to borrow average numbers we had was in the mid 90% range earlier in the day, as high as 157, almost 158%. The cost to borrow max sitting in a firm 344%, and the cost to borrow minimum in between that 15 and 45% range. So numbers looking very optimistic, to say the least, with the cost to borrow rates. Now, the live short interest of free float, last time we had this updated was on Thursday, so take it, as you will. It's probably even much higher. We typically see the short interest trend higher over time, and that is at 20.5%. The amount of shares that is currently sold short sits at about 106 million shares. Now, with the option activity on Friday, you've seen 31 orders totaling $2.05 million, positive order value of 20 But the option activity itself actually is telling a much different story. So on Friday, you've seen 57,000 calls that closed in the money, about 66,000 calls that were out of the money. But that was a lot smaller of an option expiration than what is going to be this Friday. So for November 18th, you currently have 42,000 calls that are in the money and 136,000 calls that are out of the money. At the same time, you have 40,000 puts that are in the money. So if you take just the in the money puts, if half of them were to go out of the money, that would be 2 million shares market makers would have to buy. If you take half of the calls that are out of the money and put them into the money, that would be about 7 million shares market makers would have to buy. That would be 11 million shares alone in this next upcoming week that the market makers would have to buy if AMC can start to break out above some of those key levels on the strike. So when we look at some of the key levels, it's obviously going to be 750 is 8,600 for open interest, 21,000 for open interest at the $8 strike, 6,000 at the $8.50, 7,500 at the 9, only 1,000 at the $9.50, and then you got 15,000 at the $10 strike. So if you see AMC really get up to, that $8 level, that could really push us up to that $10 level. And then down here at the $15 strike, you have 25,000 for open interest. And these numbers are not that crazy as far as the total amount of options, right? The total amount of open interest, 136,000 calls out the money, 42,000 calls in the money. It's not a huge option expiration compared to what we have seen in the past. But what is different this time around is the volume is much lower. So 11 million shares needing to be bought on AMC in a week, that's going to be a lot more, call it explosive, right, than what you have seen in the past when volume is consistently in between 15 and on the high end days where AMC's rallying 18% day over day, Thursday and Friday, you're only at 40 million shares. So that's 25% of a day's amount of volume heading into options currently held on the option chain. Not to mention the people that are going out and buying these weekly options, which you could see there is a lot of that actually happening. On Friday's video, we did report the total volume of these options and the specific strikes, and they were in the tens of thousands. So there is people actively going out and buying AMC weekly options. And that is just indicative of people trying to play the upside move. At the same time, you are at a key level. We did get stopped at literally $7.20 on the dot, guys. Literally on the dot is where we closed in regular trading. That is right on the 50-day moving average. So neither showing resistance or support as of right now. So coming on Monday, if we can even get a positive move to the upside whatsoever, that's going to be massive, because once you break out above the 50-day moving average, you're probably going straight to the 100-day moving average, which is at $8.74 per share. And considering how cheap this stock is, fundamentally speaking, and the good news we have right around the corner, and the options that are very, very cheap, it could make for a dynamic that could make you a lot of money if you are positioned for that upside move when all of these people are incredibly bearish on the stock. Mostly hedge funds, but some people are as well. Now, in the next upcoming week, guys, the only thing that's really going to derail this rally is going to be data that comes out, or any black swan events that I cannot sit here and forecast for you guys. But for the most part, data will be key, and you don't have a lot of data coming out next week, which is a very good thing. You do have Fed Brainerd that speaks at 12:30 p.m. on Monday, but that's really going to be it for Monday. On Tuesday, you do have PPI month over month for October. We are expecting that to go down to 0.4%. This is a reading of inflation. I don't think it's going to be a big deal for the markets, though. Keep that in mind. The markets don't care too much about PPI usually doesn't cause a major market reaction. And then you have Fed Cook that speaks at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Also could be important. I don't believe he is a voting member, so I don't think it'll be huge. But then on Wednesday, you have retail sales at 9:30 a.m. And that's going to be the big data point of next week. And that's simply due to the fact if retail sales are super hot, well, that is very inflationary. If retail sales are not as hot, if people are really not spending as much money, if the holiday season doesn't look to be super robust, that's going to be a positive thing for the markets, for the Fed, and this rally could continue to happen and continue to lead AMC stock up higher. The good thing by Wednesday and the lack of data we have for Monday and Tuesday, you're going to break out, in my opinion, above the key level of the 50-day moving average. If that happens, you're going to find support if we do get downside because of the retail sales around that 50-day moving average. So the key level to watch as of right now is the 50-day moving average. We want to see if the blockbuster numbers from Black Panther are going to have a beneficial impact to AMC. And then we want to see if the Ortex data is refreshing coming by Monday, because we want to know where the active cost to borrow rates are, if they are continuing to head to the upside, guys. So that is going to be all for this video. It looks like I want to position to that upside move. Let me know how you guys are positioning your position in AMC in this next upcoming week. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Thank you for watching again. I will see you in the next one.